Proteins are essential molecules found in all living organisms. They are involved in almost every biological process, playing diverse roles that are crucial for life. These remarkable molecules are made up of smaller building blocks called amino acids, linked together like beads on a string. The sequence of these amino acids determines the unique three-dimensional structure and function of each protein. Just like the arrangement of letters determines the meaning of a word, the order of amino acids dictates the protein's role in the cell. Some proteins provide structural support, while others act as enzymes, facilitating chemical reactions. Understanding proteins is essential for comprehending the intricacies of biology. The structure of a protein is intimately linked to its function. To understand the complexity of protein structure, we can break it down into 4 levels: primary, secondary, tertiary, and quaternary. The primary structure is the simplest level, representing the linear sequence of amino acids in the polypeptide chain. The primary structure dictates how the protein will fold into higher order structures. The secondary structure refers to local folding patterns within the polypeptide chain, stabilized by hydrogen bonds between amino acids. Tertiary structure describes the overall three-dimensional shape of a polypeptide chain. It is determined by interactions between amino acid side chains, including hydrophobic interactions, hydrogen bonds, ionic bonds, and disulfide bridges. Finally, quaternary structure arises when multiple polypeptide chains interact to form a functional protein complex. This level of structure is crucial for the function of many proteins, such as hemoglobin. The world of proteins is incredibly diverse, with a vast array of types, each specialized for specific functions. Structural proteins provide shape, support, and protection to cells and tissues. Collagen, found in our skin and bones, provides strength and elasticity. Keratin, present in hair and nails, provides rigidity and waterproofing. Enzymatic proteins act as enzymes, accelerating biochemical reactions. Transport proteins act as delivery trucks, carrying molecules and ions across cell membranes or within the bloodstream. Hemoglobin, for example, transports oxygen from the lungs to tissues. Contractile proteins are responsible for movement, such as actin and myosin in muscle cells. Defensive proteins play a crucial role in the immune system, protecting the body from harmful invaders like bacteria and viruses. Antibodies, for example, recognize and bind to specific antigens on pathogens, marking them for destruction. Proteins are involved in a wide range of biological processes, showcasing their versatility and importance in maintaining life. Metabolic proteins play crucial roles in regulating and catalyzing metabolic pathways. Enzymes involved in glycolysis break down glucose to release energy. Signaling proteins are involved in cell communication, transmitting signals within and between cells. Hormones, such as insulin, act as chemical messengers, binding to receptors on target cells to trigger specific responses. Transport proteins facilitate the movement of molecules across cell membranes. Channel proteins form pores that allow specific ions to pass through. Storage proteins serve as reservoirs of essential nutrients. Ferritin, for example, stores iron in the liver. The diverse functions of proteins highlight their central role in all aspects of biology. Section 5. From DNA to protein, a step-by-step journey of protein synthesis. The journey from DNA to protein is a fascinating process that underpins all of life's activities. This intricate process, known as protein synthesis, involves 2 main stages: transcription and translation. Transcription takes place in the nucleus, where DNA is copied into mRNA. RNA polymerase binds to DNA and synthesizes mRNA. The mRNA then travels to the cytoplasm for translation. Ribosomes decode the mRNA sequence. They read mRNA in codons, each specifying an amino acid. tRNA molecules bring amino acids to the ribosome. The polypeptide chain folds into its unique structure. Section 6. Structural proteins, providing shape, support, and protection. Structural proteins are the architectural marvels of the cellular world, providing shape, support, and protection. Collagen provides strength and elasticity to connective tissues like skin, tendons, and ligaments. Its triple helix structure gives it tensile strength, allowing it to withstand stretching. Keratin forms tough, insoluble fibers in hair, nails, feathers, and scales. It provides rigidity, waterproofing, and protection. Actin and tubulin form microfilaments and microtubules, making up the cytoskeleton. The cytoskeleton provides structural support and facilitates cell movement. Elastin is found in tissues that need to stretch and recoil, like blood vessels and lungs. Structural proteins are vital for cell integrity and functionality. Section 7. Enzymatic proteins, the catalysts of life. Enzymes, the workhorses of the cellular world, are biological catalysts that accelerate biochemical reactions, making life possible at the molecular level. These remarkable proteins facilitate almost every metabolic process, from the breakdown of food to the synthesis of DNA. Enzymes work by lowering the activation energy of a reaction, the energy barrier that must be overcome for the reaction to occur. Each enzyme is highly specific for its substrate, the molecule upon which it acts. This specificity arises from the enzyme's active site, a three-dimensional region that binds to the substrate and catalyzes the reaction. Digestive enzymes break down food molecules into smaller units that can be absorbed and utilized by the body. DNA polymerase, a crucial enzyme involved in DNA replication, ensures the accurate copying of genetic information during cell division. The regulation of enzyme activity is essential for maintaining cellular homeostasis. Enzymes are indispensable for life, facilitating the countless chemical reactions that sustain living organisms. Section 8. Transport proteins. Navigating the cellular highway. Transport proteins act as the cellular logistics network, facilitating the movement of molecules and ions across cell membranes and throughout the body. Channel proteins form hydrophilic pores through cell membranes, allowing specific ions to pass through. These channels are often gated, meaning they can open and close in response to specific signals. Carrier proteins bind to specific molecules and undergo conformational changes to transport them across the membrane. Glucose transporters, for example, bind to glucose outside the cell and transport it into the cell, where it can be used for energy production. Hemoglobin, a complex protein found in red blood cells, is responsible for transporting oxygen from the lungs to tissues throughout the body. Transport proteins play vital roles in maintaining cellular homeostasis, communication, and overall body function. Section 9. Defensive proteins, guardians of the immune system. Defensive proteins are the sentinels of the immune system, constantly patrolling for and neutralizing threats from invading pathogens, such as bacteria, viruses, and fungi. Antibodies, also known as immunoglobulins, are Y-shaped proteins produced by B cells that recognize and bind to specific antigens on the surface of pathogens. Antibodies act by neutralizing pathogens, marking them for destruction by other immune cells, or activating the complement system. Complement proteins are a group of proteins that circulate in the blood and tissues, ready to be activated by the presence of pathogens. Interferons are signaling proteins produced by cells infected with viruses. They bind to receptors on neighboring cells, triggering antiviral defenses that inhibit viral replication. Defensive proteins are essential components of our immune system, providing a multi-layered defense against a constant barrage of pathogens. Section 10. Conclusion: proteins, the essence of life. Proteins, the workhorses of the cellular world, are essential molecules that underpin all aspects of life. From the structural integrity of cells to the intricate mechanisms of enzymes, proteins play diverse roles that are crucial for maintaining life's complexity. The four levels of protein structure, primary, secondary, tertiary, and quaternary, dictate the unique three-dimensional shape and function of each protein. The diverse types of proteins, including structural, enzymatic, transport, contractile, and defensive proteins, highlight the specialization and versatility of these remarkable molecules. The journey from DNA to protein through the processes of transcription and translation ensures the continuous production of proteins essential for life. Proteins are involved in a vast array of biological processes from metabolism and signaling to transport and defense. In conclusion, proteins are the essence of life, the molecular machinery that drives all biological processes.